So in this video, I'm going to be creating a function, two set of function, two different functions anyway. By the way, so the first one is going to be a function that squares a set of numbers, and then another function that doubles a set of numbers. So for instance, for this first one, let's say we give a function. Let's say the user gives in a number such as 2. Okay, so we are going to define the function that, okay, a number such as, let's say, 3. So we are going to make a function that squares that 3 to give us 9. And then for the second one, double means just 3 times 2, like exponential. So that will be 3 times 3, 9. So that's 3 times 2. Oh, my bad. So that's 3 times 2, 6. Since double means times 2, square means like exponent, right? Yeah, so let's get started. So we're going to do this using ES5 and ES6 syntax. Okay, so we are going to be using functions. We're going to be using for loops, and we're going to use arrays. So yeah, let's get started. So let's first write these in ES5. ES5 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 is syntax. So yeah, so this is it, function. Then I'm going to name our function. Let's say square number. Okay, and then we have curly braces, and then so okay, no, our parameter is going to be numbers, because the user is going to have to like enter set of numbers. So yeah, we're then going to create a for loop that says let I equals to 0. Okay, and if I is less than numbers length, is it numbers length? Yeah, number length, arrays as in arrays. So then increment I. Okay, and then okay, you have to have a semicolon here after equal. So yeah, increment I. So what next? So let I. Okay, so for this we're then going to say result. Okay. Let me create a variable known as result to store our result. Okay, so this will be result. So I'm going to create an array. Okay, so this array is going to be used to store the answers that I'm going to get. Okay, so I'm going to use what's it called, an array method known as push. So just to append the element to the end of to this place. So that will be dot push, then numbers I, then exponent is 2 asterisks. So this will be 2. Should it be 2? Yeah, asterisks. Yeah, since we are like squaring it, so that will be asterisk. That will be raised to power 2. Okay, and then we come here and put return result. I think, yeah. So yeah, that is it. So that's our function that squares. So let's just see if this works. Log square number, and then let me give it a set of arrays. Let me say 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if our code is correct, we should get 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64. Right? It's 8 times 8 is 64. So let us run our code. Yeah, it's correct. So let me just try and explain these as best as I can. Basically, so what this code is doing is this. So what we did is this. We first created our function name. We defined our function. So this is not function name, and then we named our function, and then we gave we made it known that the user will have to enter an argument. Okay, and then so we come down here to line 77, and then we initialized. Is it initialization or declared? We declared this variable known as result. Okay, which we are going to use to hold our values that we get. The result of these things, or this the result of the argument that the user input that user imputed or input whatever. Basically, the result of these three of these arrays are going to store it here. Okay, so and then we then created a for loop for that. So we said for let I equals to 0. We initialized it, and then if I this is the condition right here, the conditional. If I is less than numbers dot length. So this length is an array method. Is it method or property? Yeah. Anyway, it works as an array. So we said if I is less than numbers dot length. This means that if I is less than now the length of the argument that the user gives us. Okay, for example, this is the length of this argument is 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so if it is true, if I is less than 6, you should run this code. You should do result dot push. You should append this thing into this place. So that's the numbers. So with these numbers brackets I, it means numbers. It means this number, the argument that the user gives us, and then this I is going to now set it to the position of each value in the array. So for example, if this loop runs for the first time, I is equals to 0, and basically I is less than 6, which is the length of this number here, of these numbers here. So it will come down here and say number 0. So this is 0, this is position 0. So it will then take this 0, which is 3, it will then multiply it by 2. It will then square it. So that is raised to power 3. So this asterisk, double asterisk means exponent. So that's going to be 3 times 3. So that's how we got 9. What? What's the problem? Just a sec. Okay, so that's how we got 9. So that's what the first one, and then the second one is going to and then once it runs that code, it will then increment. Okay, so it will not be 0 plus 1. This means increment by 1. So it will then be 0 plus 1. So this will be 1. I will now be equals to 1. Okay, so then I is still less than 6. So this code is still run. So it will then push. So this one will then change to numbers 1. So which is 4. And then exponent it and then square it, which is 4 times 4, which is 16. And then since we said result dot push, we are going to append that 16. We're then going to append it into this place. I'm sorry, I'm coming. Please give me a sec. Okay, I had to something very quick. Okay, so I was saying okay, for the second one, so I'll explain the second one, and then once that one is true, it will then increment by 1 again, which is then going to be 1 plus 1, which is then going to be 2. Okay, so this one is then going to change to numbers 2, which is 0 1 2, which is this 5, and then it's going to square it, which is 25. So it did that for 6. So it did that for 6, it did that for 7, it did that for 8. That is how we got these values right here. Okay, and once it is done, okay, so once it gets to once this I is now equals to 6, it will ask, is 6 less than the length of the argument argument passed by the user? So in this case, 6 is not less than 6, it is equals to 6, and we said if I is less than 6, it should not run. Okay, it should only run if I is less than 6, and 6 is not less than 6. So it will move out of the loop and then come here. It will return the result. Okay, so that is how we got this. So that's basically it. But if, let's say for instance, I put this return inside the loop, like right here. If I put it right here, it's only going to run for the first one. So in this case, it's only going to show 9. It's not show this 16, 25, 36, 49, 64. Let's see if what I said is correct. You see, it's only showing 9. Why? Very simple, because it's only going to run the first time. Once it runs the first time, which is 0 less than 6, which is true, and then it runs this code 0 number 0, which is 3, and then which is 9. So after you do it, then push that 9 into this place. Okay, and once it's done, since it's still inside the loop, once it's finished running that code, it will move to return result. So this return is telling it that it should jump out of the loop. It should end the code. It should end the function. So because of this return, it's then going to move out of the loop, and then that is all. So it won't do the rest. It won't compute for the rest, for the remaining numbers. Okay, but if I take it out now, and bring it back to the normal position, and then run our code using Control Alt N, so we get 16. So I hope that makes sense. Now that's just the first thing. Okay. Now let us write it in using the ES6 standard. So we are going to use arrow functions. So I'm going to use arrow functions there. So we say const, then we say const our function name. Let me name it square number 2. Okay, assignment operator, and then our parameter, which is numbers again. Okay, and then we say assignment operator would say this, and then we write our code here. So this is good. So that as we did earlier, we say let result, because so we're going to like declare this variable result to store our solution. So let us create our for loop using, not in this way, not in this way, but using ES6 standard, which is const, then we say number of members. Okay, then we write our code, and then we say result dot push number. This time around, we will not say numbers I, we say number asterisk 2, and then we come down here. Remember, don't include return in the for loop. Include a return has to be outside the loop. Okay, to get accurate result. We say return result, and then let's do console log this, and then let's impute. Let's call our function square number. The second one I use our function is called square num 2. Okay, so that's what I'm calling right here. So this is going to be square num 2, and then our array. So let me use totally different numbers here. Let me say, since I used 80, let me start from 9. I'll just 9, 10, 11. So we should get 81, 100, 121. Let me include them on 13, which is 169. Okay, so Control Alt N, boom, it works. So the ES6 is much simpler and much shorter. As you can see, we used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We use just nine lines. But for this, we use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, actually, it's the same number, the same lines. Okay, I didn't even know that. So the same lines, but I still think this is shorter, because we didn't have to write function name. We didn't have to write Okay, for for loop we didn't have to just write let's this ugly stuff. We didn't have to write let's blah blah blah. We just have to write something like just have to declare this counter, yeah, and then we say of this. I had to pause the video again, the recording again, to sort out something. I was explaining. I think. Okay. This. I think I was explaining this. So this number here is the counter of no is the counter of this of the argument. Okay, so this number is then going to. I don't know how best to explain this, but I'll try my best. Okay. So this number is like is replacing I. You know I is being a counter for these values. I. So instead of just using I and then having to like increment, so what this is going to do is just going to take number. This everything here is not number. This one 9 is number. So and then you said of this const or number of numbers is okay. There is already smart. It knows that the length is. He already knows what the length is. So as in this case, already knows that it is 4, and then this number that's replacing I is then going to iterate them one after the other until the end. So we don't have to be using I because I if I you don't have to like input this conditional that I if I is less than number's length. So we don't have to use that. It's already smart to know the length of the number and it's going to stop at the end. Okay, so that's how it works. I hope I'm making sense. I hope I'm making sense. Okay, so we've done that. We've written a function in that squares the slope numbers in ES5 and ES6. So what about you want to use a number that doubles the slope number? I mean that just multiplies by 2. Very simple. Just remove one asterisk. So if you try this, where is it? So if you try this, we should get 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. And then if we run this one, we should get. Okay, let me remove the asterisk. Clear the output. So we should get 18, 20, 22, 26. So yeah, 18, 20, 22, 26. Let's try another set of numbers. Let's say console log. Then the first one that we created using the old way. So let's say 12, 29, 34. So we should get 24, 58, 70. 70, 60. You should get 68. Okay, so this will be what? Okay, this is 68. Okay. Let me just comment this one out. And then run this in again. Okay, so that was it. So I hope this video helps. Bye bye.